Okie dokie. Let's see. Are we up and running? I think we might be. Wait for the screen to refresh here. As per usual, give us a thumbs up under the video if it's working. That'd be lovely. Let me just change this to. What do we need to change that to? We need to change that to that. That's right. It's been set up for the auction, so there's a few things that need to be. Oh no! Turn that off again. We'll get echoes. I think that's right. Marvellous. Evening all. Let's see. Here we got evening Peter, Peter C, Paul, Peter W, Peter Stella, David. Evening. Right, let's have a look. Good to catch up with you again. Peter C says, like to thank Paul and Tracy for a great day, keeping us fed and watered and letting us all loose in the arcade. Great fun bowling last night too. Excellent. Glad you had a jolly evening in Clacton. Peter W also says, thanks Tracy and Paul. A lot of people do not realise how much work they both put into making it the success it was. Thanks again. Yes, 2 weeks to sort out. Paul was telling me yesterday. So he kind of moved everything around. I did take some video. I haven't even looked at it yet, see if it's come out okay. But yeah, since last year, if you've seen the video of how it was last year, for those of you who didn't come, so he changed it all around. So now either side long wall is pinballs all the way down from one end to the other, and all these other machines are all in the middle. I think it's a much better layout actually. It'd be nice. And somehow or other, they managed to squeeze in 13 more machines. Don't quite know how, but there you go. So I did try and take some video of it again, like last year, like a kind of walk round. But to be honest, it was so tight because there's so much stuff in there now. It's hard to actually get around with the camera and get the camera far enough back to get things in frame. So, as I say, I haven't even had time to look at the video yet. But if it's any good, I'll cut it together again like I did last year. Oh dear, excuse me. I'll perhaps have a look at that on Tuesday night. And go from there. I did a little chat with Paul as well on some of the new machines. But again, there's a lot of people in the arcade playing machines. All the machines on, quite noisy. So whether or not they'll come out good enough to use, I'm not sure. But if not, I'll go back again and make sure they all get filmed for the finishing up the DVD project, which will be done. Panic not. Just been rather busy. So yes, good day. We're all trying to see where we're going to go next. I think we've managed to get Peter Williamson twisted his arm for sometime in the new year. Lots going to be happening in Yarmouth, I think, in the new year, which is good. I won't say too much because it's not for me to tell you. I'm sure Peter will in due course when it's all organised, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's going to be good. And who else was I talking to? Trying to persuade somebody else to have an open day as well, weren't we? Or Gary, weren't we? Gary Pound. See if we can twist his arm as well, see if he'll do one. And anybody else, if anybody else has got a nice collection, fancies having us lot round, trampling all over the place, then do get in touch and we'll see what we can organise. A few people also said about doing another day like we did at Northampton, whenever it was, a year and a half ago, a kind of a, what do we call it, a bring and play day or something, when lots of people all brought a machine or two or some bits of fair around art and some where else they brought along to look at, to try and organise another one or two of those. So I will do. My problem always is time, of course. I've just got so much on. If anybody else wants to organise anyone anywhere, I'm more than happy to promote it to all the collectors, etc. But if you actually want me to organise it, you'll just have to wait till I'm not quite so busy with everything else that's going on. So have a think. If any of you are brave enough to either let us round and into your games rooms, or fancy if you've got somewhere like we had there, like a pub room or village hall or something, anywhere in the country, doesn't matter really, because obviously we've got collectors all over the UK, so it's good to try and move them around a bit. And we'll try and sort some more. I'll have a word with Robert as well, see if we can go up to Woodbank again, because that's been extended twice the size since we were there last summer. So again, perhaps we'll try and go there again. So yes, Elaine Rogers says, thank you Paul, Tracy, for your hospitality. Had a great time. Paul says, good evening everyone. I'd like to say a big thank you for coming yesterday. Oh, excuse me. Some of you had a very long journey, so thank you very much. Yes, we had people from Blackpool, Dorset, Kent, Scarborough, York. I think they're kind of the furthest points around the country, so quite a long way. People made a weekend of it, a week of it. Some of them are making a weekend, whatever. So yes. So I'm sure, yes, huge thanks to Paul and Tracy for sorting it all out and all the work that goes into it, which is a lot more than meets the eye. And whether they'll let us back here next year, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. They might say twice as enough, perhaps, but we'll see. Let's see what else we can come up with. Right, yes, so auction today, obviously. That was a bit of a bizarre auction today. Don't quite know what was going on, really. There was things that were just no interest in at all, and other things went really well. It was a real kind of bit of a mixed bag. Strange bidding going on. Do we have a quick run through the results? We usually do, don't we? I've got them up here somewhere. All got a nice little film clip to watch. It's quite amusing. Hopefully that'll work in a minute. Let me click this to get the auction up. I think it's that one. There we go. Yes, so we started with some of these Blackpool bits. It was just, couldn't even get a pound bid on some of them, so nobody wants those. East Fed foul panels were all right, £200 and 190. Lovely panels. The two little ones didn't quite get enough. Need about £100 each for those. If you're interested, they're still here. Get in touch. Very nice panels. They're not too big, these ones either. Only 2 foot by 18 inches thereabouts. So a nice size. That nice big mirror, 280. It seemed cheap really for a glass mirror. The bumper car front, it's got 48. Oh, and 48 again. But there wasn't so much interest in the big one, in the whole one, strangely. Need to bid a bit more money, obviously, but that's still here. If you're interested, get in touch. The horses, really no interest in those. Only very low bids in either the carved woody white one, or the fiberglass one ex Blackpool, or the lovely little Dobby one, or the dinky little. I think these were really sweet. These little 1930s model ones, 12th scale ones. Nobody wanted horses. Wasn't a day for horses. Paul Matthew says, sent you an email regarding a lot I thought I won but not showing up anywhere on my account. It's my first time doing this. Okie dokie, I'll check that afterwards. I've got a whole load of emails to go through because all the invoices went out. I've been obviously tied up with other auction paperwork, and I know there's a few people looking to collect tomorrow. So I'll talk all about all that in a minute. And then once I finish the live stream, I'll get onto the emails. So we'll go through that in a minute. Some circusy bits and programs. Circus programs, what we got in here? 5, 6, about what they usually make. Sort of 5-ish a time. They were all right. One of these was, oh, is this one? 34. It was just for the post-war reopening. It's quite an interesting program, that one. So it's April 46, I think it was. Just as they come out after the war. Posters, a few pounds each as usual. Funny enough, Mary Chipperfield one made the most, £12, with lots of animals on, which, if you know about Mary Chipperfield and circus animals, is rather ironic. But I won't go into that here. You either know or you don't. If you don't know, look it up. Pedal car, 90. A good solid one, needed a coat of paint, really. Little Radio Fly 75. It's quite a sweet little thing. Neon K95, the Till 260 needs a bit of sorting out. Oh, the Woolly sign, I really like that, 110. Can't remember if that's going back up to Norfolk or not. Might be. I've got a feeling. I'm trying to think who bought it. Possibly, can't remember. Not much interest in automata this time. Onto the machines then. Joking Joey, 650. The Comet, 250. Jennings Comet. One apparently Paul recognised. He'd painted up years ago. Oh, more comments there. Peter C says, great fun, Paul. We need a rematch. Oh, on the bowling? Yeah. Very good. I'm really bad at bowling. It's quite funny. Greg says, hello from a service station on the A3. Oh, well done for stopping, and happy servicing. Yes. Where did I get to? Yes, the Comet 250. The Brooklands, Bowling's Brooklands 400. And the Black Beauty 360. The Striker brands, we had a lot of these sort of Seeker types this time. Too many, obviously, because some of them didn't go. But this one made 480. Nicely refinished. The Bingo, I had one of those for a while, 350. It's working nicely. You want to cut of paint, really, but other than that, a cut of varnish, rather. The little stamp vending machine, 110. Yeah, Fresh Nuts, 90. The early Honesty Box, Piggott and Barber one, 420. That Copper Sea didn't go. I think this is where it started getting interesting. The Kaylee, or Kale, which we like to call it, 1,110. I think that's one of those ones where I was struggling to get sort of 500. People didn't want to go 520 or whatever. They dropped the bids down to a tenner, and they just kept going and going and going and going, which is annoying because it takes so long to sell something. But on the other hand, as I always say, ultimately that's my job. My job is to get as much for the things I'm selling as I possibly can do. That's what you're paying me to do. So it's frustrating when people bid slow in such small amounts, but there we are. Condom machines, we had a few of those this time, £20 for that one. £50 for that one. The Carter sign didn't go. Another condom machine, £20. The Penny Tumble, 300. Pretty good for micro on that one. Just a little bit of TLC, really. I think somebody sort of started to take it to bits to clean it all, to put back together again. That's as far as they got, because the yellow plastics need putting back on. They're just all sort of propped there for the photograph. But yeah. The lovely Challenger, restored 590. The Golden Jokers, that one didn't go. It needs to be sort of 300-ish, I think, if anybody's interested in that one. Seeger again. The Bandit X Southend Pier, £40. The Bandit Stand. Change Neon, 110. Peter's lovely working model. Haunted House this time. 2,500. I think that's the same as the one made last time, if I remember rightly. What was it we had last time? Mr. Boozer one, wasn't it? Yeah. Great thing. I still think they're super value for money. I can see these coming around again in a few years' time and making twice that. So I think you've got a good buy, people who are buying these. Duchess Mark III, 220. Good for micro on that one. Little perfume machine. Oh yeah, the roulette. Now that was a classic example. I think on the roulette, if I remember rightly, I think the pre-bids had got to 480 before the auction started. And then I think someone bid 500. And if I remember rightly, I asked for 520. No one had bid 520. So I said, all right, then let's try tenors. We got 510, 520, 530. It went £10 all the way to £1,500. So an extra £1,000 for the sake of going into tenors. And it was weird. Those of you who saw the auction, I think there was about 4 people bidding, 4 or 5. And so there'd be a sudden kind of burst of bids, and it'd go up, 5, 10, 20, 50, 50, 60, and it sort of stopped for a few seconds, and it'll start and kick off again. And at the end of that, when there was a glitch on my screen, I thought, oh God, sort of typical this time, but it seemed to sort itself out. I don't think we missed any bids. I think £1,500 was it. I did pause a little bit at the end of that. Apologies for those of you who are waiting, but I appreciate there's people all over the place bidding, and I want to be sure that everybody had the chance. Because when it glitched, I wasn't sure if it might have missed another bid. So yeah, 1,500, lovely machine, well worth it. But it's why nobody would bid 520 from 500, and then 4 people took it all the way up another £1,000. Really strange sale today. Don't understand what was going on. But there we go. Kit-Kat machine, 110. Captain Condoms, 44. What a name does, hey. The other condom machines, the kind of boring plain ones, 20 quid. Captain Condom on it makes twice as much. Snacks, 50. The Duomat, 270. A little stock bag of 400. The Buzo All-Win, the only All-Win had in sale this time. 470. The Sega clones, they just no real interest in those. Trade Stims did well though. Yeah, maybe everyone's getting old and likes the little machines now instead of the big heavy Segas. I certainly prefer them. So lot 91 was a Dixie Dominoes, one we'd not had before, 600. Rare machine, and the 21, really nice one, that one. Dead original paint, original wood, everything. Really, really nice example. 680, and they're good fun to play. They're quite hard to win on, the 21s, but they are quite a good game to play. Good thing to play with a few mates over a beer or two. Then the tic-tac-toe, rare machine, that one, 90, lot 93, 430. One we'd not had before. This lovely little postage stamp machine, 260, the Shipman one, with the little card folders in it. Really nice restoration on that one. Gold plated top bit on it as well. The Royal, the rarer than the Duchess, that one didn't go. That one's still here. If you're interested, come and see me, as they say. And the Cowboy again wasn't quite there. Not far off. If you're interested in the Cowboy, talk to me. The pinball I think is sold now. That again was just not quite there. They were just, some of them were just so close. I was trying to do a bit of mental arithmetic to see if I split the commission a little bit, can I let them go? But we're just a bit or two shy really. Shoot, 380. Tippy Win 270. The Clock 380. Nice original, not touched for 52 years, that one. The penny slots, custom neon in inverted commas, LED neon, 130. Pennies, 230 for a sealed bag. And the other coins, the usual sort of money really. Don't think there's anything exceptional on the coins. There we go. That was your lot. Marvellous. So yeah, as I say, a bit odd sale really. I don't think it's vastly surprising price-wise, other than just seemed to be no interest in bandits this time. Maybe they just weren't exciting enough. Last time we had those lovely Wattlings and the Centerpool Cayley. I suppose this time maybe the bandits there just weren't that exciting. Although the Cowboy I thought would have got well over £1,000, but there we go. What do I know? I've only been doing it 35 years. So there we are. Roll on the next one, really. Where did we get to on the comments here? Oh, well, we'll talk about bowling. Film clip in a minute. And then it says, love pooled Space Invader pinball. Oh, the really big extra wide one. It's good fun to play that, isn't it? Well done today, Steve. It was hard going. It was hard going today. Why, I don't know. Just one of those things it is sometimes. PC said the LED sign made more than genuine neons. Yeah, interestingly. I think some people get a bit scared of proper neon because it's glass and it's fragile and it's 4,000 volts and so on and so on. I love neon, always have done. It's just something about the glow you get from neon you don't get from anything else. But the LED one was quite clever because it's remote control and you could set an off timer on it, so you could put it on for an hour or something and use it like a night light, I guess. And it faded and flashed and did all sorts of things, so it will look great in someone's games room, I'm sure. So there we are. Yes, so with regards, as I say, the invoices have all gone out. I know there's 2 or 3 emails come in because I had a quick look, but I didn't have time to reply to any before we started the last live stream regarding collecting. So collecting anything you bought should be around pretty much all tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, but do get in touch for a range of time. Evenings as well, if that helps. I don't mind doing that if it helps you. I'm going to try and clear everything up by Thursday if we can, because the next 3 weekends I'm busy. I'm tied up with this TV thing. And I know most people like to come weekends, so I'm sorry I can't do that for the next few weekends. But there might be an odd day I can do in the middle, possibly a Sunday at the Elephant House. If I can, I will. But do try and get here the next few days if you can. Then the next slotty auction will be 26th of November, I think it is. Which is already, it's going to be a good sale. There's already quite a few things in the pipeline for that. As usual, as soon as stuff actually starts getting here, I'll take some snaps of it. And then, all being well, I mean, I'm going to believe it when I see it, but hopefully, theoretically, tomorrow I might finally get the keys to the little new temporary little warehouse. Temporary for the next year or two. And then I'll try then and firm up some of the dates for the other auctions, because I'm probably going to have to juggle them around a bit, because I was hoping to be in there 2 months ago essentially, and everything's kind of concertinaed up, and there's only so many hours in the day at the end of the day, so we'll see what we do. But as soon as we can start firming up some dates, I will do. But certainly the 26th of November, that won't change, barring some total disaster. And the other ones I will try and slot them all in. It might be a case we have to combine a couple, or possibly even do 2 on a weekend at some time, do a Saturday and a Sunday or something. I don't know. I'll sort all that out. That's where we're at with that on the auction front. Peter C. Oh, on neon, more child friendly than the neon. The LED, yes, it is, isn't it? Really safer, low voltage, and all the rest of it. Elaine's trying to convince Rogers to get a pinball. Peter C. says once you get one pinball, it won't stop. No, pinballs. I haven't got one at the moment. I've had quite a few in the past. I haven't got any at the moment. Well, that's not true. I've got a couple of 30s pinballs, but not what you think of as pinball machines. They are good fun to play. The one that's been here, the what's it called, the High Roller Casino thing. That's a great machine to play. It's real good fun. Yeah, not much fun when you've got a video camera in front of you. You're trying to reach around it to play it, but there you go. So yes, collecting, delivery, etc. this coming week, that should be fine. Can't do the weekend. The weekend after, possibly a day in Leamington if I can. The weekend after that tied up, then we're back to the auctions, I think. Crazy, 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 crazy. Right, I've got quite a good little film here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear it, because I don't think the I'm not sure I tweaked all the settings from the auction, the commentary. But it was one I was looking at when I was looking at some seaside films. This one is Margate, 1954, I think it is. And it's quite good fun. I think it'll amuse some of you, especially on the health and safety aspect of it. So it's back in the day when kids could be kids and have fun instead of being glued to their iPads. So see what you make of this little one. I think it's only about 3 minutes long or something. And we'll round things up after that, shall we? All right, let's have a look. Get the right button up. Here we go.
From the Death of Glory boys and the cadets to the Never Say Die boys and the Coaster Car Derby at Margate, having a last-minute check-up in the pits. Intent on a polished performance and on steering clear of trouble, the 27 contestants have all the assurance of big-time racing drivers. Homemade by the boys themselves at a cost of no more than £2.10, the cars will run downhill, so motors or pedals are not allowed. Age limits are 9 and 18, entrance fees £half, and crash helmets, even saucepan type, are optional. A help triumphal push to the starting line, a wave from the flags, and they're off. The course from Fort Hill down to the lower promenade of the Winter Gardens is 150 yards long. Time to pick up speeds of around 30 miles an hour. After each heat, the cars go back to the pits for deft repairs by the mechanics. Organised in aid of local charities by Margate Round Table, the soapbox competition is run on leave nothing to chance lines, which would earn credit even at Goodwood. Watched by an amused crowd, Mobilius, driven by Peter Watkins, loses a tyre and completes the course on 3 wheels, a rim and a prayer. After a stop to disentangle their wheels, these two have to nudge their cars over the line. It all counts. Altogether, it adds up to 5 hours of thrills for contestants and spectators alike, with cups and prizes for those first past the winning post. Future Sterling Mosses and Mike Hawthorns, perhaps, these sawn-off speedsters show that Britain's youth is still on the right track.
Wasn't that good? I think it's just my monitor, my end's died. It seems like it's still going out, so there we are. Yes, love it. Put a pad on your head. It's great, isn't it? Health and safety, marvellous. Like a soapbox derby our village do now. The kids love it. Oh, great. I didn't know anybody was still doing it. I thought health and safety had killed all that kind of stuff off, really. I thought it was such a good little film. But also, they look so well made, some of those cars. They're nice shape, like proper little racing cars. And, you know, a lot of effort went into them, didn't they? Clearly, when, you know, the kids spent time in the sheds with Dad and Grandad with the tools out, making things. Instead of sat there doing this all day on their iPhones. So, yes, I shall show that one to my nephew and say, now look, Harvey, this is what you could be doing instead of sat on your iPad all day long. See what he thinks. I suspect he won't be very impressed, sadly, but there we are. How it should be, yeah, absolutely, I agree. Yes, kids should be, yeah, slightly grubby and scratched here and there. A few scabs on the knees, marvellous. And learn stuff, learn how to do things, learn how to make things, fix things, sort problems out. Instead of all being little snowflakes sat at home on their iPad. But there we are, that's my opinion, what do I know? So right, I think that's probably it then, because I don't know how long the stream's going to survive. My monitor's died my end, so I'm assuming it's still going out because you're all still watching it. Peter C says, those were the days before... Oops. Before Big Brother took over. One of these shown on TV tonight, no doubt. There are a lot more rules today. Yeah. Can you just imagine the risk assessments you'd have to do and... be an absolute nightmare. The council would ban it anyway for a start. They wouldn't even let you do it on day one, never mind with the risk assessment. Lane says, works in early years and we're moving toward real tools, etc. Well, I'm pleased to hear it. I did when I was at primary school here in the village, so 5, 6 years old, we had tools, we had bits of wood. You used to use little junior hacksaws, so you couldn't cut right through your finger when you cut your finger. So not wood saws, you know, the tiny little teeth you have on a little junior hacksaw, but it still cut wood, cut a nail. And hammers, little hammers, but they were hammers, they'd bang a nail in. And bits of wood, and of course, because Dad had the workshop, the joinery works at the time, he'd give us bagfuls of offcuts of wood to take to school. And a few old tools and things, it was great fun. Did all that sort of stuff. And yeah, secondary school, we had metalwork classes, woodwork classes, lathes and welding and all sorts of stuff. Don't think they do any of that now. Health and safety. Never mind, I must stop whinging. Peter says, great weekend, thanks again. Yes, it's been a knackering weekend, to put it mildly. I think when I finish this up, as I say, I've got a few emails to do regarding people's collection queries and whatnot, so I'll do that next. And then I'm going to have an early night, I think. So we'll be back with another video Tuesday. It'll probably be Tuesday and Thursday this week, so I won't be able to do Friday because I'll be out and about. And hopefully an update on the new little unit. And hopefully an update on some auction days. I'll have a good think which order we're going to do them in. And there we are. Marvellous. And as I say, anybody who's daft enough to let us all round to their games rooms, or if you're enthusiastic enough to sort out a little meet-up somewhere, if you've got a pub room or a village hall or something somewhere, then have a think about that and let me know. And we'll try and organise small meet-up, because they're great fun. I'm sure you, well, I know you all love them. I do too. It's just nice to get away and meet up with folk, see some other stuff. And you know, it's always great seeing other people's collections, isn't it? Because they always have stuff that you haven't got. Super. Peter C says, that's how I remember it too. Hopefully common sense is returning. Gosh, I hope so. Desperately need some common sense in the world, don't we? It's just gone completely bonkers the past few years. And when you've got bonkers people teaching the next generation, that's the most worrying thing, isn't it? Because how bonkers are they going to turn out? Yeah, that's the really worrying bit of it all. And we need a generation of kids who know how to fix things, so we can flog them all our slot machines when we get old, don't we? Because they need tinkering with. If they don't know how to, you know, sand down a varnish and all-win, or tinker with a one-arm bandit, or solder a wire onto a solenoid in a pinball machine or something, then they're not going to want to buy any old junk that we've got, are they? So bear that one in mind. Right, I think I'm off. I need a cup of tea, sort some emails out, and thank you all again. Thanks to Peter, Tracy, for all their effort. Much appreciated by everybody. And we'll yes, Peter Williamson's in the new year, and we'll see what other ones we can sort out. Smashing. I'm off. I need more tea and then some sleep. Good plan. See you all again.